Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Lukmanul Hakim bin Erizwardi, 2020167279.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adam Yusri, 2020911555. Me and my partner are going to talk about characteristics of subsidiary company. Subsidiary company is one of over which another corporation has control. A parent company or holding company is a company that controls another company. Because the holding company owns a majority of the subsidiary firm's shares, it can exercise control as the largest shareholder. The company is a subsidiary company if they have this characteristic, which is where the other company controls the composition of the boards of directors, holds more than 50% of the voting power, and controls more than 50% of the issue share capital. First of all, company that controls the composition of the boards of directors is important. It usually consists of 3 or more independent members who are named by the board of directors on the chairman's recommendation and with the nominating and governance committee approval. Most companies must have a board of directors and must be elected by the shareholders. Board of directors holds more power than the CEO of the company. Thus, all important decisions must be informed and acknowledged by them.
The other characteristic of a subsidiary company is the other company control more than 50% voting power. The parent company is guaranteed the votes needed to configure the subsidiary board of directors. If it owns at least 50% of subsidiary, the above allows the parents to have a say in how the company makes decision. Other characteristic, the last characteristic of a subsidiary company is the other company hold more than 50% of the issued share capital. At least 50% of a company's equity must be controlled by some other entity in order for it to be classified as a subsidiary company.
Today, me and my group are going to explain you guys what is type of company. There is a 3 type of company. The first is company limited by share. It means that members are not liable to pay the debt of the company upon winding up of the company if they have fully paid their share.
Company limited by guarantee is also termed as guarantee company. In a simpler term, it's a company without any shareholder, but it is owned by members called guarantors, who agrees to pay a nominal amount in the event of the company being wound up. By default, the company has the term Berhad or abbreviation BHD suffixed to its name. CLBGs can, however, apply for the suffix to be omitted from its name. CLBG are widely used for not-for-profit companies such as charities, community projects, clubs, society, and other similar bodies. No profits or dividends are distributed to the members of the company.
As the name implies, an unlimited company does not have limited liability for its members. As a result, the members will be directly liable for the entire amount of any damages it incurs. In Malaysia, unlimited companies are rarely created. All other startup and operating expenses and processes remain unchanged. Except for a Sendirian company, all companies limit their responsibility to their shareholders to the company. Instead of conducting business, you can register the Sendirian company to form a mutual fund that holds assets for investment purpose. It is similar to a partnership in that it has unlimited liability among its shareholders, but it has more flexibility in terms of equity ownership, with shareholders having the option to sell their shares back to the company. An unlimited company may convert to a limited company by passing a special resolution and submitting a notice of conversion to the Malaysian Companies Commission. An unlimited company may be either public or private, according to Section 11, Bracket 3 of the Companies Act of 2016.
Type of business entity in Malaysia. The first is sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is a separate entity from the person who owns it. It means that you are the business and the business is you. The second is partnership. Partnership is the relation which subsist between person carrying on business in common with view of profit.
Hence, unlike a sole proprietorship, a private limited company has its own legal identity. It is the most common type of business entity in Malaysia. It has permanent succession until the directors and shareholders decide to dissolve the company. It may acquire properties, go into debt until contracts, sue or be sued on its name. The owner's responsibility is limited to the amount of money they put into the business as a personal investment. The shareholders and the company's properties are separated. Creditors will not be entitled to pursue the owner's properties if the corporation fails to fulfill its obligations. Any invites to the public to subscribe to any of the company's shares or deposit money with the company for investment or subscription are prohibited by a private limited company. A small to medium enterprise such as an independent retailer in a market town is often involved. Shares are not traded on a stock exchange, and a private limited company may have as few as one director and as many as 50.
Any company which is not a private corporation is categorized as a public firm. Section 2 Companies Act 2016. A public company is one whose securities are traded publicly and is listed on a public stock exchange. Public company can have unlimited numbers of members but must have the bare minimum board of directors of 2. By referring Section 43(1) of the Companies Act 2016, it authorizes public companies to ask the public to deposit money. Public company varies from a private company. Ownership is held by shareholders, while many private companies are managed by a small group of people or even a single person. The majority of public companies are owned by the shareholder. The Companies Commission of Malaysia introduced the Limited Liability Partnership as an alternative company form to provide enterprise and entrepreneurs with more competitive options for undertaking business operation. Limited liability partnership is a combination of a parent and its subsidiary with limited liability for its own partner. Its business structure is intended for all commercial objectives with the goals of profit. Plus, it will assist small and mid-sized enterprises in starting up and growing their businesses.
For the conclusion, according to Section 11, Bracket 2 of the Companies Act 2016, the company may only be a public company, and its name may or may not include the term berhad. According to Section 45, Bracket 3 of the Companies Act of 2016, a company limited by guarantee can apply to the Minister of a License to remove the word berhad or the abbreviation BHD from its name. When deciding to start a company, there are several company frameworks to consider. Choosing the correct arrangement is an important step in protecting the company owner from liability exposure. This essay analyzes 5 typical business structures in relation to the liability exposure that a company owner may expect. Steps that company owners may take to minimize their liability exposure for each type of company structure were also examined. Finally, an organizational framework for a potential company was investigated. This investigation looked at the benefits and drawbacks of using this type of company's structure. Eventually, the material in this article offers a basic understanding of how business structures can impact liability exposures.